Hi and welcome to Hobby Maker YouTube tutorials. I'm Jessica and I am the face behind Jessica Jayne Designs. Today we're going to go through the basics behind DIY stamp carving. In this tutorial we'll be going through the basic tools needed to get started, and we'll go through the essential beginner kit. Here are some examples of different cards you can make using your own stamps, as well as creating some lovely handmade gifts. In your beginner kit, you will get your carving tools, your lino, some card blanks, some stamps, some pencils, some tracing paper, everything you need basically to create a collection of your own greetings cards. So I'll open it up and we can see what's inside. Right, so inside you have a lovely little quote. And that's to remind you to just keep doing lovely creative things. You get 2 different stamp colours. These are varied in each box, but obviously if you've got your own stamps at home, you can use your own as well. The most essential tool right here is your lino cutting tools. So in your tools you get, I'll just put these to one side, you get 5 blades, the handle, and a little set of instructions to help guide you through. So you've got all 5 here, and they're all different thicknesses and widths, and that starts from blade number 1 all the way to blade number 5. This is your number 5, which is quite good for a bit of etching and mark making. And this one is number 1, so I like to start off with a number 1. So the main thing to do is just squeeze it into the handle, as simple as that. And if you want to swap, you just use your little stick and it'll pop right out. Right, so next up you have a set of instructions, and that just goes through the step-by-step guide of how you'll use your kit. So you also get your stencil design. So these are lovely floral designs that I've created. So you can use them all year round, and you've got this lovely yellow flower and foliage, as well as a lovely little pink flower too. I have some little examples here that can show you the final lino carvings of those flowers, and I'll just show you so you can see here. So that stamp will have been directly on this card and come away and create this lovely little flower. So I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration on how to use those designs. You also get your tracing paper. So this is essential for transferring your design from your stencil onto your lino. Again, this is a really important part of the kit. This is your lino. So this is a medium thickness and medium weight lino, so it's easy to carve into. So yeah, perfect for beginners. And your pencil, trusty pencil for that transferring of the design. And you get a pack of card blanks and some envelopes, perfect for giving your cards after you've done your new prints. So that's everything from inside the box, and I can take you through how to get started. Okay, so we're going to do a little flower print, and I'm going to go through a few basics to get you going. So a nice flat surface is key. Anything bumpy, you'll just get an unlevel print. You need some inks. So the inks that we use are oil-based inks, just because they are nice and tacky and they stick to the surface of your lino best. Another thing to remember is lino is a slightly different surface to your standard stamp, so you do need to apply a good amount of ink on there. So I'm going to get started with this green, and I'm going to get a nice bit of coverage on the stem, and I'll just stamp directly on top of those leaves. It will be hard to see as the lino is green and my ink is green. But just make sure there's lots of coverage. Sometimes you can just see better if you use a bit of the light to see if you've got enough on there. You might also need to do a few little test prints as well, just to make sure you know you are putting a good amount of coverage on, and you may end up having to do a couple of cards till you get your best cards. Let's have a see, maybe a little bit more on there. Nice bit of stamping. So we're going to go with that, I think. I'm now going to try and use the pink, and I'm going to put that on the petals. So again, just gently apply to the lino surface. And just make sure there's a really good amount of coverage. Because it's quite a hard surface, sometimes it does take a little bit of perseverance stamping your petals on. Try and get these bottom ones. I think a few more could do at the bottom. And we'll go from there. So even looking at it now, it doesn't look like there's a great deal on there, but there's enough. Right, next we will stamp it. So the best thing I could recommend is where you have the carved edges around the edge, you can use that as your holding area. So try not obviously touch the inked area, but I will just simply flip it over and place it nicely on the card. I'll just press it down and drop. So another thing to remember is try not to move your stamp once it's on the ground. And oh, that moved ever so slightly, so we'll have to see how this one comes out. But you can just apply your own pressure to transfer that ink onto your card. Now, if you like, you can also use your die cutting machine if you have one, and you can just run it through the machine and it'll put the pressure on for you, and it'll all stay in the same place as well. So that's an easy way of doing it. But obviously if you don't have a machine, you can do it by hand. You could always use a rolling pin as well. And let's have a little look at this first print, see how it comes out. Oh, lovely. And there you are, you've got a lovely little flower card. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and there'll be more videos in the future of more stamp carving.